Hello and welcome to Slightly Impressive Vlog every day in April. My name is Grifter and it's April 15th. And I'm kind of looking in the wrong place. I always forget that the camera's over here. Hi viewers. But I keep looking at myself because it's distracting. There's myself right there. I don't want to look at this little dot over here. I want to look at myself. Okay, so this is probably going to be a long one, so I should get down to it. Right, okay. The would you rather for today is, would you rather time travel to the past or to the future? Now, this could go a lot of different ways. We kind of have to hone down what the rules of this are, right? I'm going to say for the purposes of this thought experiment, I don't think that's even what this is. I don't know. For our purposes, we're going to have, it's going to be you can go once, right? You get to go to the past or to the future. You get to choose where you're going. Where on Earth. It has to be on Earth, okay? Well, unless it's really far in the future, and then maybe there's not an Earth. Okay, we're gonna say it has to be on Earth or wherever most humans are, okay? But you get to choose when and where and for how long you're staying, and you get to come back. The way it's worded, it doesn't say that you get to come back, but if I didn't get to come back, I thought about this, and I would just time travel 1 second in the future. You would think maybe 1 second in the past, so you don't lose a second of your life. But if you went 1 second in the past, there would be two of you, right? And then what are you gonna do? You'd have to work out that whole mess. I don't want to deal with that. What if it's really true what they say in Back to the Future, where the space-time continuum unravels, even though that wouldn't make any sense. And it would make this weird time loop, and I don't want to mess with that. 1 second in the future, I'm not gonna use that second for anything anyway. So we're gonna say we can come back, because otherwise my answer is a dumb cop-out answer. So where would I go? Okay, if we went in the past, there's so much to choose from, and the benefit of the past versus the future is you're gonna have a pretty good idea of where you're going, right? So you're going to have a pretty good idea of what to expect and how to dress and how to talk and things like that. So, man, I've been thinking about it all day, and I don't know, I can't decide on anything. There's so many places that any time in history would be so interesting to go visit just for a while, you know? Colonial America, or any of the major wars that have happened, at any point in history. It would be terrifying to be there, but it would be really interesting. World War II. That's such a crazy time in history. Most of the world that we know a lot about is fighting each other, and it's, that must have been such a crazy, there was a First World War, and then another one happened, and they must have just been well, this is just how things are now. We're just going to be at war all the time. Everyone's just always going to be fighting. Everything sucks. So, that must have been terrifying. I can't imagine, as a modern day American, I can't imagine being in a war, or being in a country that's at war and not knowing if we're gonna win, right? That's mind-boggling to me to think about that. That's okay, Mr. Motorcycle, are you done? Okay, so I assume that's his name, Mr. Motorcycle. What was I talking about? World War II. What else would let's get off of World War II. What else would I want to go to? Ancient Japan would be cool. Also terrifying again. Really early ancient human civilization times would be interesting. Just to see how different people were. There's just so much. It would be so hard to decide what to actually do. And then you have the future, which obviously you don't really know. The further you go in the future, the more uncertain it gets to what you're even going to be doing. So you could go just 10 years in the future and just see how your life is going to be. And that's another thing, to go into the past. It's not necessarily just to see how things were for the human race. You could see your own personal life, or people it would be cool to see your parents when they were, well, I remember my parents when they were my age. Oh, now I feel old. Okay, you go see your parents when they were teenagers or something, right? Or children, or see your grandparents when they were really young. and see what their lives were like and things like that. Like that would be cool, right? Um, Man, I don't know. It'd be so hard to decide where to go. And then you have the future, where you can see how your life turns out, like people around you, like how their lives kind of turn out. Maybe see how you die, like going back to what we talked about yesterday. Um, or I guess you couldn't. To see how you die, you'd have to stick around. You kind of have to guess and then stick around for a while. So that wouldn't be the best way to do things, I don't think. Um, or you could go like way into the future and just see what happens to Earth and where we end up going. I I really don't know. Like I think I would choose the future. I was undecided before I started talking. I think I couldn't the past would be really really cool. Either one of these would be so amazing, but the past would be really really cool, but I think the future I want to find out what happens. I want to see how technology changes. I want to see how culture changes. I guess like about 100 years in the future, like something just a little bit beyond what my lifetime is probably going to be. So maybe like 100 or 200 years in the future, just to see like what the world is like, what the geopolitical situation, what kind of things are going on, what the technological situation is like. Um, like how much has the Earth itself changed, and just like there's so many interesting things. Like I just want to know, and I won't know. That's the thing. The past, you can always go back and read about the past, right? I mean, we have pretty good records of most of human history. Um, but the future, like we don't know what's gonna happen. We can guess, but the further away it goes, you're not gonna know. And like there's an end point, right, to your life. There's an end point to what you will find out. So it would be cool to be able to see beyond that. So that's what I choose. I would go like we'll say 200 years in the future. Is that too far? I mean, 100 years ago, yeah, it was very different. We're gonna say 100 years. I'll say 100 years in the future. And okay, that's my answer. Let me know what your answer would be. And if you have a would you rather that you'd like to see me answer in a future one, leave that in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. The wave is always just a little awkward. I don't know at which point to wave, and it's just, I don't know.